store up almost right away and started selling it.
And the worst part about all of this is it seems like the CEO is pretty much just trying to rub all of this in everyone's face. When I turned on the news, I saw this.
I watched that.
Now, as far as offering Brian the inventory, have you gone through the store, figured out what was part of his collection, taken inventory and shown him that inventory to offer that?
We've tried to share those with Mr. Mansell in hopes that he can see, you know, like that we were not attempting in any way, shape, or form to withhold anything. Those then were offered to him, and the initial offer was rejected.
So now on
I'm sure it was.
Ammon, the CEO, is telling the world that he tried to give us this inventory, but we're the ones that didn't want it.
We do want to help him recover as much of the collection. Our number one priority.
I'm glad he's doing this.
Ensure that he gets made whole. We know that we have a responsibility to work with him to make sure he does get made whole.
So you've offered Brian the inventory of sets that was in the store.
Yeah, whatever was left over, we've offered that.
Straight lying.
So we've tried to make multiple offers, and
you can't believe anything that comes out of this dude's mouth.
Get them to the table so we can discuss it.
And this is pretty much Ammon's game plan now. Go on as many news stations as you can and lie.
The entire time we were saying, hey, we want to help, we want to help.
The main narrative now seems to be,
does Bricks and Minifigs have any like
give Brian his Legos back, but Brian just
like do they have any shareholders?
Take this. And the
Because if they do, if I was a shareholder, I'd be dropping that like a rock.
They made the offer and said, hey, you can have
this is insane.
And that offer was,
I don't know if they're public or not.
Well, that's Ammon's side of the story, but I say let's take a look at what actually happened.
Read from the bottom up. That is our correspondence with Bricks and Minifigs, trying to work with them in getting the sets back.
So right when this happened, Brian hired an attorney to reach out to Bricks and Minifigs. They sent an email saying, how should we proceed to retake the possession of the sets/minifigures? And they actually emailed back saying they were willing to help. And then after this, they just never respond.
Wow.
So Brian's attorney sent them another email, just following up on this, when can we pick up the sets? And they still didn't respond.
To a lawyer?
Back saying, it's now been 16 days. How can we get these Legos back? And finally, they received a response. It says Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson have no legal obligation to return any of the Lego
what
that exists in their store to you.
Bro, they straight up stole them.
They're saying that they're the ones that are not able to work with you, is what it seems like.
Exactly.
They finished this email saying, we consider this matter closed and will not be returning any Lego products to you. So as you can see,
I feel like that's
proof of
happened. Just stolen Legos right there.
But then Ammon goes on Fox News and says this.
So they actually did have an attorney send information to us. We said, great, appreciate this. Let's see what we can do to work this out. Yeah. And then we never heard back.
So why is Ammon going on like Fox News then and saying, we wanted to give Brian his stuff back. He's the one that didn't want his stuff back. He didn't want any of his things.
That's my point. I don't know. He's lying.
I truly do believe in integrity. Truly, I believe in the sentiment of integrity, and I believe everyone should have integrity.
But anyways, another thing the CEO seems to be pretty upset about is that when Brian kept demanding his stuff back and couldn't get it back, eventually he had enough. And he was
Scammer.
like, I'm going to make a Facebook post 100%. About this.
No better than people that are trying to grab old people's money from
and liars. And this Facebook
India or Pakistan.
Really pissed off Ammon. I mean, Bricks and Minifigs is literally suing Brian now for millions of dollars, all because of this. I mean, back when I was talking to him at corporate headquarters, he made it very clear that what they did is technically not actually considered theft.
There is no theft. Do you understand the legal definition of theft? Legally have to be the definition of knowing that the property was stolen or otherwise not belonging to that person.
And on my phone,
that was not known until Mr. Mansell came in days later and said, I have some of these things that...
That's bullshit, because there's a recording of the guy saying, oh, you don't have any legal obligation. You don't have any, isn't that the store's obligation to take care of this? Not yours? Whenever he was taking over the store from the other franchisee. Yeah, this dude straight up just lied again. I mean, it's not surprising. Are we surprised? Are we surprised that he lied again?
And that's another lie again, because
it is not another lie.
So it showed
is not another lie.
Footage where corporate acknowledges
there it is. Like I said,
going to be responsible for these Lego Star Wars sets.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet.
He has not been paid his percentage yet.
And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours.
That's a business thing, not necessarily your thing.
He's taking on the business, he takes on all that kind of side that
And after showing him this footage to try to bring the conversation back to reality,
Yeah.
this was his response.
That is now extortion. Dude ran out of. He just defaulted back to original settings, bro. He got so blindsided by that. Like, I don't understand how this dude's getting blindsided by evidence that Ben is giving him, because he's definitely had receipts for everything. But that just reset him to factory settings. He said, "Oh, that's extortion."
Because we caught you guys?
No, because you are attempting to extort us. So that's what you're doing. What you are doing right now is illegal. It's an extortion.
So,
Wow,
you guys
extortion.
That's illegal on me.
How?
We have done nothing.
See, I agree too. I agree. Nope, it's not illegal on us. Thank you for.
We have done nothing illegal, and you are doing something illegal right now.
I don't think that's illegal. I think us catching you guys for doing the illegal thing doesn't make that what we're doing is illegal. That means what you guys are doing is illegal.
Okay, you've been asked to leave. Please leave.
We have to leave? Okay. Well, thank you for working with us. And
After just going around in circles for probably 30 to 40 minutes and just, having like kind of less than genuine questions or less than genuine responses being given to me, I was exasperated by the end of it. And that's, like when people get tired and exasperated, that's when like, we finally got the footage that we can use to make him look like a completely unreasonable monster, but that's what they do is people whose goal is to do those types of things, they just harass and go after people as long and hard as they can until somebody breaks and says something that, then they can, use that one clip to be like, oh, look at this horrible monster of a person.
You are a monster.
So that's what I feel like.
You are a horrible person.
So Ammon's claiming that I just harassed him for 30 minutes and finally.
You think you're entitled? You think you can get away with anything?
So I say let's go to the very beginning of the footage, my first interaction with them, and see what actually happened.
So what's going on?
so you guys are holding some of our Legos?
Nope. No, we're not.
You're not?
Immediately knows exactly what he's talking about.
The very first sentence we ever exchanged with each other, Ammon's goal was just to lie to us. But anyways, I'm now starting to think that the only reason Ammon wanted us to email him about the inventory list wasn't actually give us the inventory list, but actually it was a trap. Yeah, Ammon only wanted me to email him so he can find out my email and subpoena Google and find out all of my private information. You think I'm lying?
Bro,
they actually did this.
That's crazy.
Asking for all private information tied to this email address, and Google sent them like hundreds of hours of all the raw footage from everything.
Are they just trying to find? They're just trying to find anything they can right now. I told you this is exactly what they have to do. They have to do this. There's no other way out. They see no other way out.
My entire first episode.
And they're right. There is no other way out.
Like, if this fool even
You're finished. You're cooked. You're done.
Stuff, I'm like, if it's enough for him
Deep fried.
To another state just to go get some footage. It doesn't even sound like his like secret information.
This is insane.
Incredible, from my understanding.
No, so it sounds like
Just because he's a CEO of Bricks and Minifigs, he gets to sit there and talk with the detective, I believe that's detective, and then a police officer, cordially. Anytime Reckless Ben tries to do it, just because he's a YouTuber or just somebody that the CEO says he's harassing him, even though he has a mountain of evidence, they won't sit there and talk to him like this. They talk down to him. This is blatant misuse of justice. Blatant misuse of... It's unprofessional as it can get.
You were able to watch the video.
I think by secret information, the police officer is referring to the security camera footage that proves that everything Bricks and Minifigs is saying is a lie. My first question is, how could this not be credible? It's literally just video evidence of what happened that night. But at least now I can see why the police aren't listening to me. They're basically just saying that all of the evidence I submit to them is not credible and therefore case closed. Ben's wrong.
That's
and
insane.
we're right, because we said that the evidence is uncredible. At this point, Bricks and Minifigs is working with the police to just come up with whatever story they can to make any evidence I give them seem as uncredible as possible.
In all of his actions to just generate clicks and likes to get, like social media clout without putting in.
Bro, he's doing it to himself. He's doing it to himself. He's quite literally. If he would have just agreed, gave him the Legos back, or gave him the inventory list, even just gave him an inventory list and said, oh yeah, you're right, here you go. Here's the actual amount that we owe him, or this is the Legos that we have, and here's the money from the ones that we did sell. We do apologize for the inconvenience. Thank you. I think he's spent more money trying to, and lost more money over this whole scandal for these Legos than he would have just giving him the money back. And he would have looked so much better. If this video ever came out, it would have never came out. It would have never been a thing. So him saying this to the police is like, the police aren't looking at it like, well, if you would have just been, gave him the Legos or gave him the inventory list, or just proven that, you didn't owe anything. If you really don't owe any money and you never had the Legos, which we all know that's a lie. Dude's been caught in so many lies that nobody's going to believe him. Except for the police. Because he's CEO. Just except for the court. Because he's CEO. They can't fathom that a CEO would damage their company this bad. Damage their reputation of the company this bad. That it would become this big. And so the reason why this is happening